All right, guys, and we're live. We're live. We are live. So I'm going to have a special guest on today, Mr. David Riggins. We're waiting on him. He's got a good story. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. He's on his way, and we're going to get this interview on the road. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. I see Amber, Casey. Thank y'all for being here. I'm sure we'll have a few more roll in here soon. But this guy, he basically lost his leg to a fentanyl addiction. He's going to tell us how that happened and pretty much his journey through addiction and things like that. What's up, Casey? What's up, Marky Rizzo? What's up, 410? Oh, best movies. Okay. I'm glad you told me that because I wouldn't have known. Good thing about YouTube, you can vape on YouTube, man. So we're waiting on David to pull up. It's gonna be a good story. I feel it's gonna be a good story because the man's got a good attitude, good spirit. He lost his leg to his addiction. Um, it's gonna be a good one, guys. I hope everybody's doing good out there today. It's Sunday. Also, I'm gonna start this new thing on YouTube, a new podcast. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna call it yet, but I'm working on a name. But we're doing this every Saturday and Sunday. I'm gonna be doing these interviews on YouTube. Here he is. What's up, David?
Hey, brother.
You're live, man. You're live.
All right. How y'all doing this evening?
Yeah, we're ready to hear your story, man. So first off, let's get right into it, man. Where are you from?
I'm from a little town called Ruffin, North Carolina.
North Carolina. So you're close to me,
Mhm.
man. I'm in Tennessee.
All right.
And how old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
Okay. So I'm gonna just give you the floor, man. You can start wherever you want to start. When your addiction started, basically.
All right.
So give us a little backdrop on that.
All right. I will. All right. Unfortunately, I started using it at a very early age. About 9 years old, I started smoking weed, man. I
Wow.
did the weed thing till I was about 14, 15. Then I found the pills. And you know how
Yeah.
that goes, the snowball from there. Well,
Yup.
I
Gateway
calmed,
drug.
yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
I calmed down a little bit and I was a senior in high school when 9/11 happened. So,
Okay.
like a lot of us, it got a little fire up in me. So I went and joined the military directly out of high
Okay.
school. And unfortunately, like a lot of people, there was such an influx of individuals coming into the military. There was a lot of safety precautions being overlooked.
Right.
Well, during a training incident post IIT, I fell and destroyed both of my knees. So I ended
Wow.
up after about 13 months in a medical ward. Um, Physical therapy and everything didn't work, so they ended up medically discharging me. So I was given the wonderful parting gift from my government of an opiate addiction. At 18
Wow.
or 19 years old, I was put on more morphine than a man 4 times my size should have been on. So for the
Okay.
next 6 years, they were feeding them to me like candy. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Well, then we all know what happened. The government comes in and says, "Oh, we're giving out too many opiates." So all of a
Yeah.
sudden they tell me
Yeah.
I'm cut off from my medicine. So you know what happens then? You got to start seeking elsewhere because I'm highly, highly hooked by that point.
Yeah. So let me just get see you're one of the people that fell into the statistics from doctors. Doctors
Exactly.
overprescribed you pain medication, and that has happened to a lot of people, man. That didn't happen to me. I was always getting my drugs in the streets, but I know a lot of doctors got a lot of people hooked on opioids, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Uh, well, see, unfortunately, in my local area here, we had this doctor named Dr. Hooker that was just giving them out like candy. He ended up getting busted
Yeah.
by the feds, the whole 9 yards. You know how that goes. And
Yep.
he was one of those type that you could go to him and say, hey, Oxycontin really helps me. Morphine really helps me. But they'll say, well, what milligram would help? How many of them would it take? A nod and a wink and
What?
a couple extra dollars, and boom, you got whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
And you know
Yeah, for
how
sure.
it's the same story that so many of our youth out there went through.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
They
once the
they
once the pain pill
they
thing was gone, then the heroin comes in. Mm,
yep. Hmm.
there is the true devil right there. Once that heroin enters in, and then the fentanyl later on, that's some
Hmm.
evil stuff. Well, for the next 13 years, I'm battling the heroin. It's winning, but I'm battling it.
Yeah.
Well, on December 20th, 2022, last year, I got so high on fentanyl that I fell out. A space heater fell on my leg, and I didn't even feel it. It burnt me so bad that they had ended up amputating me. I had 85% of my left leg was third-degree burns. I actually had 50% of my bone was exposed between my knee and my ankle.
That's
Um,
crazy, man.
man, it was horrible, but I ain't mad about it because that's what
Right.
finally opened my eyes and saved my life. It's the only reason I'm still alive today is because I almost died. It's crazy that might be to say.
Well, yeah. So was that the breaking point for you to get clean?
That was where I broke all the way. Not
Wow,
just
man. That's
not just the breaking to get clean, the breaking to realize that it wasn't only the drug, because it's not just the drugs that us as addicts have to realize is our problem. It's our
mhm.
actions, it's our environment, it's the people we surround ourselves with, it's everything. That was the
Yeah.
moment when I realized I had to cut everyone from my past out. So many of my friends, I had to tell them I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be any kind of way, but I can't have anything to do with you anymore
Yeah, man. That's really what
because
it takes too.
I have to focus on me.
Yeah. So we just covered a lot right there. What was the transition like from heroin, because you experienced the transition from heroin to fentanyl in the streets, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like when because I mean we all know today, man, it's mostly fentanyl now. I don't even think there's any real heroin still out there.
Yeah.
What
But
what was what
heroin and
was what was
fentanyl are
what was
not
that?
the same on any level.
Right, right, right. What was that
Now,
transition like for you?
honestly, it was way too simple of a transition because oxycontin and heroin chemically are so similar to one another that the way they made you feel was almost identical.
Right.
So when I switched over from the 480 milligram OC80s a day that they had me on at that time to nothing,
Mm,
it was as if I was still on the oxycontins the way my body felt because I
yeah,
was still experiencing chemically my body was still feeling the same. You know what I mean?
yeah, I
The
do.
way that it reacted in me.
Hmm.
Mm.
Another thing that I hated about the fentanyl, man, is how short of a half life it had. I
Yes,
mean, I would start going into withdrawals 3 to 4 hours after my last dose.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Um,
sick is not the word, is
no, it ain't, man.
it?
It,
Oh,
it
I know.
it definitely ain't.
I know, brother. I always tell people, imagine the worst case of the flu you've ever had in your life, but add phenin on top of it. Mm.
Times 100, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, times 100. So, what has life been like since you lost your leg, man? You seem to be in good spirits about it, which I think is
Well,
awesome. A lot of people would be devastated over it, something like
to
that.
be honest, since I lost my leg, well, I spent 56 days in the burn unit ICU down at UNC. Had to have 6 major surgeries done. Um, but I think it was about the second surgery when
Hmm.
they installed right here in my arm. They had to install a PIC line, and what
Okay.
happened was they accidentally had bacteria on the tip of the PIC line. So
Oh
the
my.
UNC inserted bacteria into my heart. So all of a
That's
sudden, I
crazy,
start
man.
getting fevers of 103 and 104. Nobody can figure out why. They start putting me on massive IV antibiotics, and the only thing they're doing is just holding the infection at bay long enough for them to stop the antibiotics below, and they would spike immediately within an hour. Nobody can figure out why. I had the doctor come in. I had a young doctor come in. This man was shaking. He looked at me. He said, "Has your whole family visited you yet?" I said, "No, my only my mother has and my cousin." He said, "Well, call them and tell them they need to come see you because you're probably not going to leave that bed." I said, "Oh, Lord."
Mm,
That was the moment of realization of, oh, my goodness, this is really that serious. So I
yeah,
called my dad and I told my dad, I said, "Dad, I need you to come see me." So, son, I mean, of course I'll come see you. I said, "No, I need you to come see me for you. Because if I die, it ain't going to bother me if you didn't come see me. It's going to bother you for the rest of your life."
yeah, for
So he
sure,
did.
man.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he did. He came and seen me, and but thank the Lord that finally some random doctor said, "Huh, I wonder if it's your PIC line." They took it out, never had another infection, never had another fever.
That's crazy, man. That's
Yeah,
for doctors to make mistakes like that. That's wild, man.
yeah,
That's wild.
yeah.
You can't trust everybody out here.
That's the truth. But
Yeah.
now,
So I'm interested in what you got going on though, man. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. What's your goals with this? Because I see
absolutely,
you trying to get into the content creation, which is a great way to get a message out as
yeah,
far as this addiction thing. I've been able to reach millions of people at this point. So I really
absolutely.
respect what you're doing, man. What's the end goal you're looking
Thank
at
you.
here?
What my goal is okay. I'll put it like this: I have hundreds of friends that did not survive long enough to get out of addiction.
Right.
So I believe my reason for being saved, my reason that I survived is to honor their memories. And in order to
Preach it,
honor their
brother.
memories, I think that I'm supposed to try to help other addicts come out of that darkness
Yes.
into this beautiful light that is recovery. I want to open an addiction treatment center here in my area, in the Caswell County, North Carolina area, to try to help other addicts. Number one, I know I'll be damn good at it because I can connect to them on their level because I've been there. Oh boy, have I been
For
there.
sure.
And I know if any of you've ever been to rehab before, you know the only counselor that you respect is the one that learned it on the street. They didn't learn it out of a book.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of
Right?
people don't want to listen to somebody that hadn't been through it. It's one of them
Exactly.
things.
Well, not only that, not only do they not want to listen to them, those people don't understand to the level that me and you can understand it to. We've been there.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so, man, I never, I think I told you in a message earlier about this. Never in my life did I think that I would actually send a message to my local police department and tell them that this is what I want to do, and tell them that I want to sit there and help people out, and actually be reached back out to and be told that they're proud of me. People being telling people like that, the people that normally my asshole quivers when I say, you know what I mean? I get scared when I see it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now,
that's that addiction though.
exactly. And hey, it don't matter how long we leave from away from it. I already know I've been told by enough that memory will never go away. But
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if the memory's still there because the actions aren't. You know,
exactly.
that's the thing.
So his at guys, his name is David Riggins. You can find him on Facebook. I got somebody asking about your
Oh,
info. You can find
mm,
if you want to give that to people so they can
yeah,
find you, man, and follow
yeah,
you on this
absolutely,
journey.
absolutely. Um, okay. Let's see. My Instagram is David dot Riggins, Riggins .39. My
Okay.
my TikTok is at David Riggins 59. My digital creator is under the same on my Facebook. My YouTube is also under that.
Yeah, for sure. So you're actually my first interview back on YouTube. I've interviewed a couple people a long time ago,
Mm.
but I'm this is going to be like an every weekend thing for me. So I'm
Yeah,
glad you're on here, man. So
man, I
what?
am too.
So damn, that must have been crazy. To you basically nodded out on fentanyl next to a heater, basically, right?
Yeah.
You overdosed pretty much.
And actually, the night before that, I had overdosed and died and had to be Narcan twice. Bag of ice put down my pants. When I came to, I looked at my friend that did it. I said, "Why in the hell did you do that?" I was finally where I wanted to be. I had bought one $20 bag of fentanyl and it killed me. So you know what
Yeah,
I did the next night? I bought
what's
eighty
that?
dollars worth, and I did it all at one time because I was trying to kill myself.
Right.
That's what really happened. But luckily, I didn't die. Instead, I woke up.
So what your intentions was to, pretty much off yourself
Yep.
and probably one of the best things that ever happened to you happened because it
Mm-hmm.
got you where you're at today in your sobriety.
Exactly. That's what I tell everybody. I'm the first amputee you're ever going to meet that says that they're happy they lost their leg or their limb or whatever they lost
Because you're
because
clean
it
now,
is
man, and
what
that's
opened it.
priceless.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
tell you,
sobriety.
it means so much.
Sobriety's priceless, man. It's not, you can't buy it. You got to work for that shit. You got to, and
Absolutely.
so Marcus here says, he wants to know if you're still in pain. Are you still in any kind of pain?
Well, unfortunately, I've actually, I actually hadn't said this to anybody on any of these things before, but well, may as well tell the truth on everything. I've got a bone infection right now. It's actually a pretty
Oh,
good
wow.
possibility I'm gonna have to be amputated a little more. Yeah,
Damn, man.
yeah, yeah.
So
I actually
what's
have a
the,
sore. A sore came up on the end of my stump, and the bump busted open, and now there's a spot about yay big around. We can see my bone. My bone
that's
is
crazy, man.
exposed, man.
What caused that?
They're not really sure. Um, they said that one of many things could have led to the bone infection getting in getting started.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I wish you the best of luck on that, and you gonna get through it, man. We've been through so
Oh,
much
absolutely,
shit. You've definitely been through a lot, man.
man. You know what? You know what? At the end of the day, even you never went in the military, did you?
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay. Well, even though you didn't go in the military, we both are soldiers. Okay. We're
Mhm.
just soldiers in a different kind of army.
Right, 100%, man.
And that's what it
100%.
is.
That's what I tell everybody. That's what I tell everybody. If you've been through that addiction life, like really been through it, and you made it out, shit, I respect the hell out of you, man. And you know, this is powerful. What we're doing here is powerful. Like people watch this, people see it, people get encouragement from it. And I can even take encouragement from somebody like you, man. I don't know how my mental space would be if I had
Mm.
lost my leg or something. A lot of times we complain about what we don't have. And you're over here with a good attitude, positive attitude. You got good intentions. You got strong goals. And, you lost your leg, man. So I can't do nothing but respect that, man.
The way I look at it is, man, all this right here is a catalyst. This right here is a jump off point to the rest of it. Because, see, listen,
For sure.
here's my thing. As I said, the hundreds of friends I had that I lost, my goal is to honor their memories. And the best way I can, earthly possible, I can honor their memories is by trying to help save other addicts, by telling my story to other addicts to let them realize that there is life after death.
Mm,
Because even though I didn't die that day, I was reborn.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. You was, man. You was. Speaking of people dying from overdoses and fentanyl, I had a very good friend of mine 2 days ago. He just lost his life to fentanyl. So
Mm.
I would like everybody to say a prayer for Stephen Cates' family. This dude was more like a brother to me than a friend. I mean, we was in third grade together. I've known him since third grade, and it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I've overdosed 6 times on fentanyl myself.
Yeah.
I'm a walking miracle, just like
Easy
you,
to
man.
happen.
Yes, sir. And he just lost his life. He's
Yeah.
no longer here. So, and
I'm
that was a
sorry to hear
big.
that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. That was a big, awakening for me to keep doing what I'm doing. To keep doing
Yeah.
what I'm doing because that's all we got, man. Is our story. That's all we
Exactly.
got.
That's where our strength comes from, is the word of our testimony. You
Exactly.
better believe that.
Exactly, man. So, what? Okay, so shit. I'm sorry. I just got a message.
You are.
How hard was it for you? First off, how long have you been no substances? How
Okay.
long has it been?
Here's I have not used the needle since December 20th, right?
Hmm.
At all. I got out
Okay.
of I was released from the hospital on February the 8th. Well, needless to say, when I was released from the hospital, I was released from the hospital with a rather large prescription of 8 milligram Dilaudid, right? It was supposed to be
Right.
10 days worth, 10 days worth. It took me 2 days to go through them. You know how that goes.
I know
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
how that
You
goes.
know how we're still addicts. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
bringing it back. Okay. Well, then
Yeah.
the next day I went to the methadone clinic. I joined the methadone clinic. I went there for 2 months. I got up to 120 milligrams a day. After 2 months of going there, one day I woke up one morning and I realized, why am I doing this when I don't feel anything? Because the first week or two, I caught a little buzz. But then after
Yeah.
about a month or so, I just felt normal. And I ain't down with taking shit that just makes me feel normal. That's not the way I do it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
spend $16 a day to go take something that makes me feel normal. I can sit at home and save my $16. So
Yeah.
after 2 months, this was the first week of April. I went to a friend of mine's house. I didn't tell him why I started getting sick, but I told him, I said, man, I'm not feeling real good, but I'll be all right. I'll be all right. After 3 days of me puking and shit, and he said, what in the world's wrong with you? I said, I'm coming off methadone cold turkey. I came off 120 milligrams cold turkey and have not touched any more since. Will not touch anymore. I don't know what in the world it was. Only thing I can come up for a reasoning for what made me come off the methadone was the fact that I won't feel anything from it. So that was the realization. Same reason I got off Suboxone years ago, because I never felt anything from it. So my mind said, why the hell are you taking it? You're not getting high. If you're not getting high, why are
Yeah.
you taking a drug? That's what my mind always said.
It's all mental, man. It's all mental. What you did was very hard, dude. People struggle to come off methadone and Suboxone. Like,
I'm gonna tell you, it was
seriously.
very hard. I have never
Definitely.
puked and shit so much in my daggone life, boy. I'll tell you. But that right there, that was probably one. That was a lot harder than coming off fentanyl ever was. I've detoxed off fentanyl in jail several times.
Yeah.
That is nothing. That's child's play compared to coming off 120 milligrams of methadone. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
whew, that was rough. But
So how long did you
I'm
with?
glad I
How
did
long
it.
did you with? I am too, man. I'm proud of you because what you did was something that a lot of people struggle to do. How long did your withdrawals last from that?
8 days.
8 days.
Eight
Wow.
8 long days.
And then you started feeling better, right? After
Yeah,
the
well,
8 days.
progressively, bit by bit. 8 days of the intense withdrawals. Of course, I
Right.
didn't feel
Right.
right for at least honestly, it probably took a month before I felt right again. But
Yeah.
about
For
eight
sure.
days of the actual, coming out both ends situation.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, man.
I couldn't imagine looking back at it or going back to it rather.
So what keeps you from going back? Is it your goals? It's the community that you have now? Um,
Well, it's two things. It's two things. Number one, it's the goal that, as I said, of wanting to honor the memory of the fallen ones. And then second off, it's because I've got a set of boys, twins, they're 14. They don't know me. I want them to. I reached out to their mother the other day. I actually sent her a thing to this lab. Who knows? She may be in here.
maybe so. We got about nine
I
people in here right now.
I want my boys to know who their father is. I want my boys to know that yeah, their father made a lot of mistakes. Their father hurt their community. Their father hurt his family for years. But what happened in the past is in the past because I am a man now that is changing. I am a man now that's looking to the future. I'm not looking at the past. I want
You
my
can't do it.
sons. I don't. I don't want my. I mean, I would never try to take them from the mother. Dear God, no. She's a wonderful mother. She was. Hey, I will not lie. I was not a good husband. She wasn't a good wife, but she's a damn good mother, and I would never take that from her. But I
Right.
want my boys to know their dad's not this evil person as they've been told all these years. Their dad's just somebody that made a mistake, and it took them 20 damn years to get out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's that addiction. You know, it'll take everything from you. You know, man. You know how it is.
It
It'll take
did.
everything from you.
It did. Man, I'll tell you. I
So,
mm,
so this is the first time in 20 years recently that you haven't been pretty much a prisoner
yeah,
to your addiction. How does that
man.
feel, man?
Freedom is wonderful, man. It's great. I have not experienced freedom like this. Honestly, I'm 39 years old, and like I said, I started smoking weed when I was 9 years old. I
Hmm.
have done some kind of substance, whether it was alcohol or drugs, my whole life. Now I don't drink. I don't do drugs. That's the only drug I do. I smoke cigarettes. Woohoo! My
Yeah.
bad. I can't let go of the last one. Like you said on the live the other night. Don't be nitpicking just because I'm still vaping.
Right, man. Yeah, because it's a hell
I
of a
mean, don't
lot
be
better than
nitpicking now.
fentanyl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least I ain't on the fentanyl. At least I'm not
Yeah.
out here because I wasn't only a drug addict. I was also a drug dealer for many years. And that's
Hmm.
another reason why I want to help because I helped destroy my community for a long time. I want to help build my community now.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do when that addiction don't have a hold of you. You know, you can
Dude,
take your money and put it towards other things, your
I
resources and
just
put them
started this a
towards.
week ago.
You did
1 week.
what?
I just started this 1 week ago. The social media, the creator attempts and everything. I just started
Yeah.
less than a week ago. And the
Well, you're off
number
to a
of
good
people
start.
and the amount of support I've received in less than a week is unbelievable.
Hmm. Yeah, social media as a whole, you can get your message out through. You need to keep going, brother. You need to keep going because you could build something great. I've built quite a big community through this social media thing, and it's endless. It's endless.
Absolutely.
So keep it going. You can reach your goals on here for
Oh,
sure.
I will. I'm hard headed as hell, and I'm a hard worker. That's a good combination when it comes to the good side.
Yeah, yeah. Just keep your eye on the prize. What you're doing,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. Thank you.
for sure. And we're gonna do this together because I encourage everybody to put their story out, man. That story, hearing people's story is the number one thing that helped me,
Mm.
get out of my addiction. Although, I had to want it for myself. You got to want it for yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But just hearing other people's testimonies and that it's possible. For some reason,
Mm-hmm.
when you're an addict in that full blown addiction, you have it in your head that I can't do this or this is impossible. I know a lot of people think that way. So when you see somebody that did it and continues to do it and
Yeah.
is able to find happiness after it, that's very motivating to people.
That's what I've said to so many people that my desire is to go into a room of darkness Go into a room full of people still in darkness and have them be
Mhm.
blinded by the light that's coming from me to where they want it to.
Yeah,
That's my goal.
exactly. Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah, because you can't make anybody do anything, but you can
Oh
encourage
no,
them. That's the
exactly.
way to
Oh,
do
I
it. You
know that.
encourage them.
Because if they could, if I could make somebody do it, huh, my parents would have made me stop 20 years ago.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure, man.
hell,
For
30
sure, it
years ago as far as that goes.
comes from within. It
Hmm.
comes from within. You got to make it. You got to decide for yourself that, hey, I'm
Yeah,
done with this shit. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get through it, and it's going to take everything you have to get through
yeah,
it. But you can do it. For anybody in here listening, struggling, just know that you can do it. You can do this shit.
absolutely. It ain't easy, but nothing worth doing is easy. I've been told that all
Right.
my life, and it's damn true.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true, but it's well worth it though.
Oh boy, is it?
Yeah, it's well
Boy, is
worth
it.
it.
Mm. I'll tell you, and this is an exciting ride. And all I got to say is I'm grabbing that thing by both handlebars, you know?
Yes, sir.
Mm.
Yes, sir. So you're on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay, well y'all go follow my boy, man, David Riggins. I hope to see you. I hope to see you the face of addiction one day, man. The face of,
Absolutely.
with an army behind you, because that's what I'm trying to do. And together we can do it, for sure.
Well, I hope to see you face to face when you come for the ribbon cutting ceremony when we open.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll
Oh,
do everything
I
I
was
can to be
hoping
there.
so. I was
Yeah, I'll
hoping
be
so.
there. Yeah. And I'll bring an army with me.
There you go. Hey, it takes an army, don't it?
Yeah, it
Like they
does.
say, it takes a village to raise a kid. It takes an army to save the ones that want to be saved. Because you can't save the ones
yeah,
that don't want to be saved. I know because I didn't want to be saved for years. I never in my life thought I would survive addiction long enough to get out of it before I died. I never thought I would live long enough to do that.
yeah, man, for sure. So let's talk about that. Overdoses. How,
Mm.
you've experienced overdoses before, right? How many?
I've been Narcan twice ever. Um,
Mm,
the like I said, the first one was when I did the $20 worth on December the 19th of last
yeah,
year, and my friend brought me back, and I got mad at him. See, the part I didn't say was, see, I got locked up on November the 6th of last year for a probation violation. The judge let me out on December the 16th, time served. So my tolerance was gone.
yeah,
That's why the $20 bag, because normally, the $20 bag would have barely even gave me a buzz. That's why the
yeah,
$20 bag killed me.
yeah. That tolerance
But yet,
drops.
but yet the $80 bag the very next day didn't kill me.
That's
That's because
wild,
it
man.
wasn't meant to.
Right, right. And plus, when it comes to fentanyl, you never know what you're getting to. Like
Very
the
true.
potency. Yeah, the potency of it. You never know how strong it's going. I overdosed on 2 hits of the powder. I would smoke my shit on aluminum foil.
Mm-hmm.
I overdosed on 2 hits, and I had a tolerance. I had a
Yeah.
tolerance, so
Yeah.
it can
Hot
happen to
spot.
anybody. Yeah,
That's what we used to call it back when it was real heroin.
yeah, yeah.
Nowadays,
It's no
all the
longer.
only thing they got nowadays is they sell cut with fentanyl in it. They ain't no heroin anymore.
Yeah, they ain't no heroin. They ain't no
That's what the
heroin.
people at the methadone clinic told me. They said we have not had a failed test for heroin in over a year. I said, huh?
It's all fentanyl.
I said, there's plenty of people still doing heroin. They said, no, son, there's plenty of people doing fentanyl.
Yeah, they'll sell it to you as heroin. People tell you it's heroin, but it ain't heroin. It's fentanyl.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um. Damn. I should have wrote some questions down, man. I should have wrote some questions down. But I kind of freestyle these things. I just kind of like it's more real that way. I feel like when we can have a conversation,
Yeah.
just kind of bouncing off of each other, And I just want to let you know I'm proud of you, man. What you did
Thank
ain't
you,
easy.
man.
What you
I
did ain't
watched
easy.
your video with you in the driver's seat. And I guess there's your old lady or something in the passenger seat sitting there asking you for you to switch over seats and everything.
Yeah,
Man, I may as well have been sitting in your lap, dog, because I done been in that driver's seat with my old lady in my ear so many times. I never listened. I just want to tell you, man, that we both been to the same place. But
for sure.
I'm glad to see where you are. And my dream is, my hope is to build my supporters, build my dream up and get some help from my people in this area, because my area right here, we've got a couple of clinics around. We don't have any rehabs. We don't have any treatment centers, excuse me. We don't have any ones that are true addiction advocates. We have drug counselors, we have people like that. We don't have the ones that are actually for our people. Because at the end of the day, the drug addicts in this area, they're my people.
Mm,
There's a good portion of the people in this area that have either used with me, bought from me, or sold to me. So they've all seen how deep I went.
yeah,
So now I'm ready to sit there and go the right way.
yeah, and hope that they follow you,
I hope so.
and hope that
I
they follow you.
I hope there's a influx of individuals that want to help. I know there was a long time that I sat there. There was a long time that I spent where I sat there and I said that I wish I could get out of this, but mentally what I said was, that means I'm ready to die. Because that was the only
Mm,
escape I thought was possible. I never thought that there would ever be a possibility that I could move on past the substances. I never thought it was
yeah,
possible.
and look at you now. A lot of people think that way too. I thought that way.
Yeah.
It's scary. That's a scary thought because I know exactly what you're talking about, man. You get to a point where you're just like, there's nothing I can do to get over this. Like it's always going to be a part of my life. Marcus wants to know, do you have any advice for people still using? What would be your
Don't
best
give up.
advice to them?
Don't give up, man. Oh, Marcus Thomas. That's actually a very good friend of mine. And
Okay.
Marcus, brother, I'm gonna tell you one thing, brother. You know I'm always here for you. You know I'll always be here for you. You know you can call me at 2 o'clock in the morning. You always got a shoulder you can cry on here, dog. But man, don't keep letting these women and these events suck you down a hole that's to a place that is way beneath you, because you are a lot better man than that. That man was an Army Ranger. That man fought professionally MMA. He ended up having a stroke. It messed him up. He's a
Damn.
damn good man. But the problem, Marcus, that you have is that you're too nice. You need to quit letting people use you, brother. That's what you need to do.
And that's the worst place to be in.
Mm,
When you're struggling with addiction or in that addiction world in the streets, that's the worst thing to have in that situation is being too nice because people
yeah.
will take advantage of you.
Boy, will they. Man, I got one more story for you. Speaking of
Let's
people
go,
taking
man.
advantage of you, see, you know I'm a service connected veteran.
Okay.
Well, when I initially got approved for my service connection was back in 2006. Okay. Originally, when I was approved, I was only 30% disabled. Well, my ex-wife, one thing I got to thank her for, she had filed an appeal in my favor the very next day. Well, it took them until February 14th, 2017 to finally approve my appeal. I got up
Mm.
that morning and I called my bank to see if I had enough money to go get a pack of cigarettes. I had $78,000 in my checking account. I'm like, whoa, what
Wow.
in the world? They had raised my disability from 30% disabled to 70% disabled. Man, within 5 months, I was homeless. I was strung out. I had lost everything because me being Mr. Nice Guy, I'm
Mm,
giving this away, I'm giving that away, I'm buying this for this one. The girl I'm with hooked on crack. I'm buying her half ounces of crack at a time. By that time, I done got back on the dope because I had only been out of jail for 5 days when that money hit.
wow.
Man, I learned from very, very self-hand experience that you can't be nice to everybody.
And you can't be addicted or going through addiction when you get your hands on that kind of money either, because
Oh,
you're going to blow it. I blew $20,000 in 2.5 months. I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Two and
Man,
a
I'll
half
tell you
months.
what, that's the fastest I ever seen $78,000 disappear.
Yeah, yeah. Because when you're high and you ain't thinking straight anyways,
Yeah.
and that addiction is making the decisions for you, and
Oh
for
yeah.
some reason you don't think that money's going to go away, and it goes away quick. And day by day, you're living in the moment, in the moment, in the moment. I'll worry about this tomorrow. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you need $100 here, 500 here, especially when you get, and then before you know it, man, it's gone.
And won't none of them people help you back out.
Oh no, no,
When I couldn't tell you how many hundreds of times I've gotten my disability check on the first of the month, and I've been myself and given it, give, and by the third, I'm 100% broke, and then I got 28 days to sit there broke, and those 15 people that I gave money to look at me like I'm a damn fool when I ask them for $1.
yeah, that's how it goes, man.
Mm.
That's
I
exactly
told
how
my
it goes.
dad the other day, I said, I'm taking on your personality. He said, what's that? I said, to say fuck everybody. He said, huh? I said, he said, what do you mean by that? I said, I want to help people, but when it comes to money, I'm sorry. I got to make sure me and mine is good before I would ever give $1 to anybody. Because at
Y-
the end of the day, when I'm sitting there and I don't have any food in the house, I don't have anything to eat, I don't have any cigarettes, I don't have but one or two people I can go to. Marcus is actually one of them. He's also a service connected veteran.
Hey, shout out to
But
Marcus.
yeah, amen. But there's very, very few people that I can go to, man. But there's a bunch of them that have no problem coming to me.
Yeah,
One
that's
way
how it goes.
street, brother. One way street.
Yeah, and it ain't life ain't always like that, but in that addiction world, it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can't give
Exactly.
money to somebody in active addiction either.
No,
That's the worst thing you can do. That's just enabling them.
exactly.
You got to provide help to those people, resources, not money.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lesson I had to learn the hard way. And by that I mean from my parents. My parents, they for years I was able to work them, get $1 here, get $1 there, you know how it goes. Well, then the realization finally hit them one day of everything. My entire family, my whole family. I don't have none of them I can turn to now financially. My parents, when I got out of the hospital on February the 8th, I moved in with my parents. They have been helping me more than I can even begin to explain to you. I am so thankful for my mother and my father, man. Thankfully, my
Yeah,
parents were young when they had me, so they're still not that old. They were 18,
hell yeah,
17,
man.
18 when they had me. So thankfully, I still, Lord willing, have a few years left with them.
Oh yeah, man. I could say the same thing about my mother, man. Through thick and thin, that's one person that I know would never turn their back on me.
Yeah.
You know, out of anybody in this world. And I got a great community of people that I've met within the past year through social media. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, other than my mom, these people have been more like family to me than anybody. Anybody. So you're gonna run into some good people on here. but I also have to protect my community too, because
Absolutely.
people in active addiction, we're all about helping people. We're all about helping people, but you got to make sure that the person has pure intentions, because you know how you lie in active addiction for
Oh
money. Like
yeah,
you'll come up with anything
you
to tell
become a
people
con man real quick.
real quick, man, real quick. So yeah, it's a sticky little area, but we just try to help as many people as we can. Try to point them in the right direction. Try to give them resources. Try
Mm,
to whatever we can do. I got somebody sending me Narcan kits to my address that I'm going to be handing out. We try to make a difference out here. But one thing
mm,
you can't do is give money to somebody in active addiction,
yeah,
because we all know how that goes.
and I don't want to feed no more death to anyone
Mm-mm,
because that's what
definitely
that
not.
is. I actually switched the bio on every one of my platforms today to where at the top of the page it says "fuck fentanyl," but it's F star. Fuck
Yeah,
fentanyl. Why don't we start handing out death sentences to fentanyl dealers since that's what they hand out?
yeah, for sure, man.
That's all they do is
There,
hand out death sentences every time they hand somebody some.
uh, you said something a minute ago that brings me to another question. Did you Are you still dealing with like burnt bridges that like
Oh
through addiction,
Lord,
like
yes,
relationships that you got to still work on?
absolutely. I still have a lot of my family that don't deal with me. I still have
Yeah,
so many of them that I've hurt, so many of them that because of me looking at things the way I looked at it, sat there and was like, "Oh, well, you didn't give me what I wanted, so fuck you." No, that's not the way to look at it. They didn't give me what I wanted because they knew it wasn't what I needed. They
100%.
knew
Yeah.
that I was going to kill myself with it. They were helping me by not giving it to me.
Hmm.
Man, I actually had just a few minutes ago, my mom's brother come out here, my uncle Doug. Man, last year my grandfather died. I didn't go to the funeral, and most of my mom's family still hates me because of that. I was dope sick. I couldn't find any drugs that morning. That's why I didn't
Hmm.
go. And it's like this. I never went to the hospital. I never went to the funeral. I didn't. And it's kind of like when I told my dad to come see me because it would bother him for the rest of his life if I died. It wouldn't bother me. I'd be dead. It's
Yeah.
not bothering my grandfather. I was not at his funeral. I have to live with that for the rest of my life. And any of my
Yeah.
family cannot recognize that. I'm sorry. I've moved on. I would pray you could. But
Yeah.
that one right there still hurts me. You know,
Yeah.
we probably spoke 10 words to each other while he was out here. And I don't know if he knows that that was the reason why I was so stand backish because I still have that in the back of my mind. You know,
Yeah.
but
I'm sorry, man.
hey,
That
I
sucks.
did.
Yeah. Yeah. You did it, but it does get better though, man. You're still kind of freshly sober.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Uh, as time goes on, and people will see, they'll see the they'll give you recognition for it. Like when you're fresh. I mean, you got to think you've been doing this for 20 years, man. You've been going through addiction for
exactly.
20 years. That's 20 years of people just like, oh, he ain't gonna change, yada yada. He ain't
Mhm.
gonna change.
Exactly.
So it's gonna take a little time to build those relationships back, but you'll
I
build them.
respect that.
Yeah, you'll build them. You'll build them back. It's gonna take time. It took time to break them down. It'll take time to build them back up.
Hmm. Thank you. I actually needed to hear that.
Yeah, man. I get a lot of people that say that to me. That they say, "Oh, I destroyed these relationships," and that makes it harder to get clean too because you're dealing with shame, and you think that you can't make them better. But let me tell you something. Time has a funny way of healing things. And as time goes on and you're putting the work in and you're being authentic about what you're doing, people notice that. People notice
Yeah.
that. And they will too, man. So
Yeah.
keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Man, you know something that actually one of the things that really makes me feel good? Man,
What's that?
I looked on my TikTok the other day and I realized that I had approximately 20 of my ex drug dealers following me on TikTok. And I realized, hey, if y'all want to watch me succeed, please do.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people want to see you fail. I ain't saying that's them, but show them, brother. Show the
That's it.
people that don't think you can win. Show them. Let that be a fire. Let that be a driving force for you
Yeah.
to go do the damn thing because anything's possible, man. I want to see you. I want to see you reach the goals beyond your wildest dreams, man. And I want to see everybody do that.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the plan.
Yeah. So, man, look. If you got anything else, you can say it. But I guess we're gonna wrap it up, man. I appreciate you coming up on here and sharing your testimony, your story, giving some hope. Hopefully, you change somebody's life in the chat
I hope so. Um,
with your
uh,
story.
one other one, my WhatsApp. Put that one out there.
Okay.
All right, let me
Yeah,
put
man,
my
put
what.
it all out.
Yeah. I figured may as well that way. If anybody out there has anything they want to talk about, or anything, you can text me on my WhatsApp at any time. My WhatsApp number is 434 770 6701. You can get me that through the WhatsApp app.
Okay, man. Yeah, hit my boy David up, man. He's gonna be a big inspiration one day. You're already an inspiration, man. Anybody that gets through their addiction is an inspiration. But I could see you as long as you stick to your goals, man. You're gonna hit them.
There you go. Thank you. All right. Well,
Yes,
man,
sir.
it's been nice talking to you, brother, and I'm gonna look forward to next time we can get together and have us a talk.
100%, man. There will be a next time, man.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
All right. Thank you,
All right,
brother.
guys. Appreciate you, David,
All right.
and I love you guys in the
Appreciate you.
chat. Let's go.
All
Until
right.
next
Thank you,
time.
man. All right.